hello, just for a second.
Hey everyone, this is Cheryl Kuchek with Sublimation for Beginners and Beyond Facebook group. How are
How
you
are you?
guys? We are live on YouTube. So, Finch, it's so good to see
Yeah,
you.
hey Cheryl, David Gross, Condi Systems here. The reason Finch is up here is just to speak very briefly about the upcoming NBM show in Secaucus, New Jersey, or what NBM refers to the Meadowlands. And
Okay.
we're really looking forward to that show. And Cheryl, you're going to be there, right?
Yeah, I certainly am. And I
Okay.
love it.
We're going to do some. So Finch runs the kiosk for us, and we're going to really do some exciting new things at the kiosk. And tell us a little bit about what's going to be going on at the kiosk.
Yeah, absolutely. So, just like every show we do, we're going to have the kiosk set up to where our clients or anybody interested in sublimation can come up to the kiosk and they can have a sample made. But we're going to have a couple new products there. We're going to have socks. We're going to have, of course, the acrylic. We're going to be curving it there at the trade show, which is really cool. We're going to be doing the air fresheners. Have the new air fresheners there. Exciting to show people that. It's gonna be a good time. I'm excited to go to New York again.
So,
Yeah,
thanks,
okay.
Finch.
Well, David, I have a question for Finch. Are you going to be at the summit?
I should be.
Okay.
Should
Okay.
be.
Well, okay. So, I love your non-committal answer. That's good. But it's okay because I'll talk to your dad. I know him.
The going back, I want to go back to the kiosk. So the kiosk, as we got Christmas in July, and there are so many events that are going to be happening around you, our clients,
Yep,
and
that's right.
a few people are going to have, sort of that, initiation, if you will, to step out of your comfort zone and set up at one of these events. And you bring a little heat press, possibly you maybe bring the sublimation markers. You could bring the kiosk. And so if you do one, it's probably you're going to struggle, but you're going to be all set for the second one. And so
David,
consider.
that's a thing that I want Finch to do at the summit is to teach people how to set it up and how to actually run their own kiosk because honestly, people start doing that, they're going to start making money. They really
So
are.
we run the kiosk at a trade show in automatic mode, which is not something that clients should do. So in real life, the kiosk allows the client to drop the file in a folder on your laptop. You then open the file in Corel or whatever, and you
Right.
size it, maybe throw it into a template appropriate for the event, and then print it out and press it. And at the trade shows, we don't have time to sit there and open every file. So what we do is we do a quick size, which is not always perfect. I'd say 80% of the time it works out, and we simply print it. That's not what we want you to do. That's not what we're going to let you do because you need to do it right because, this is real money. But if
Right.
you go to the trouble of doing one of these events, you can charge above average profits, and you can make great money delivering products just within a few minutes. Most of these events, it's like picking up a prescription. You can order it, then walk around, come back and pick it up, and you don't want to take any homework home with you. You want to press all the stuff. You want to get it done, and so you would press a limited number of products there, um, and I would say that ultimately the long pole in the tent, the most challenging part of this is ensuring that you have enough electricity to run your heat press. If you can
Yeah.
cover that outside, you can bring one of those little silent generators, but inside, you've just got to figure out a way to get enough amps to run a little heat press. A George Knight JP14 equivalent kind of press, 6 to 8 amps, somewhere in that range, I believe. But you get hooked on this stuff, and suddenly you've got a completely new stream of income.
Well, somebody in my group, 2 people actually, you guys set up the kiosk for them, which is again the reason I think that would be so great to show people how to do that, and they have been very successful doing it. So,
I'd
and
love
I guess
to. I'd love to get them to give you a write up or something, so they can motivate others to do it. Again, the kiosk, in the grand scheme of things, is simple, and one of the good things is that we have our after hours tech support on weekends, and so we can help. If you run into a challenge, depends on the issue as to whether or not we can figure it out with whoever's on duty, and also how many calls are coming in. We do stay exceptionally busy on weekends with calls, and many people, weekends are the only time they can have time to set up their printer. So we get bogged down with our, we'll call it our meat and potatoes, our normal tech support, and then we get a few emergencies like you set up somewhere. Now, one thing you can't do though is you're not going to be using the internet very well at events most of the time. So
right,
people that are married to Creative Studio, that probably is not going to work. You need to move to a program like Silhouette, Corel, Photoshop, Illustrator, something like that. And after
right.
all, you can learn enough in those programs to get the job done.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay,
Yay,
thank you,
Finch.
Finch.
Yeah. Thank you.
And
Thank you.
one more guest, and we'll get started. Vic, come on up here.
Yay, bye, Finch.
Bye, Cheryl.
So Vic let me know that she's going to make a cameo appearance at the Secaucus
Yay.
show as well. So if you come by, you'll be able to see Vic. And again, Vic is interning for us this summer. I've let my kids sort of decide what they want to do, and so she's worked on and off for Condi in many areas as well as Finch. And so it's good to have the kids learn the business. And
That's
so
for sure.
if there's any questions or whatever, maybe they can answer them. Otherwise, we very much look forward to seeing you at the show. So Vic, tell us what you're doing this summer.
I'm doing a lot. I'm in the marketing department, so I work closely with new products, online, Facebook. Right now, any of the 4th of July sales and the Made in USA sales, all of that, all of those PR posts came from me. So,
Woohoo!
I'm the one to blame. But I've been doing that and just answering Facebook questions and just learning a little bit more about the products to, learn more and to progress within the company.
Well, thank you, Vic.
Awesome. Awesome. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. All yours.
Okay. So are you ready for me?
Yeah, unless, whatever questions as far as things coming up. Of course, if you haven't signed up for the summit, I would tell you that I'm going to be teaching classes. Sprite's going to be teaching classes, as well as many other great industry folks. So take advantage of this educational opportunity. Atlanta is usually a inexpensive, destination to get to. Although I've been looking at American and seeing the challenges they're going through, but Atlanta is a big Delta city, so hopefully
Yeah.
Delta can get you some good deals.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, speaking of that, I probably need to book tickets too. Okay. So yeah, we do want to talk a little bit about the summit. So
Tell you what, sorry to interrupt you. Sprite just came in, so let's let Sprite do her thing. And is that okay, Cheryl?
Sure.
Okay. So what you got for us, Sprite?
Got a piece of glass. Hi.
So what's the magic behind glass?
I don't know, David. What is the magic behind glass?
Well, glass is a high value product. It feels expensive. It looks expensive. It's not expensive. And so when it comes to Christmas and all the photos that we do for Christmas, for instance, Finch sent us last year for Christmas, and Sprite said it's on your refrigerator, right?
It is, yeah.
It's Finch is in front of what appears to be a fireplace with his guitar, and it is just an adorable photo that you just can't get enough of. So
I want a copy.
It's really funny. It's really, really funny. So it's cute.
Okay, so let's see what. Okay, so Janice says Delta got me a price on the flight from California to Atlanta for $290 round trip. Wow,
that's incredible.
That
wow.
is incredible. Right, absolutely, that's awesome. Yeah, that's super. Okay, so
was it a direct flight, I wonder?
Probably not. But Janice, was that a direct flight? Because that's phenomenal. I'm not even sure I'm going to be able to get a deal like that. I better book some tickets though. I know that. So I'm just going to read some comments here. Hi, David, Cheryl, Finch. Hi, wonderful influencer. Rock on. Hey all. Hi, David and Cheryl. Hi there. Just signed on. Happy Thursday, you all. Alice says hi, everybody. Dottie says you too, Finch. Joanne, the Christmas in July webinar was great the other day with David and Jimmy. Hello, everyone. Love the fact of the kiosk, but can't lug all the equipment around. And David, I do want to talk a little more about the kiosk because I do think from getting feedback that I think, it's kind of like Jeff Butler was selling the, was he doing a kiosk?
So Jeff had a booth, and Sprite was part of it for some years, and at the flea market, and what they focused on was monograms.
Okay.
So they were not focused on photographs at first. It was slapping a monogram on a license plate kind of thing. So with that, it didn't require much interaction with the client other than tell me your colors, your background, your things. That sort of the
So when we started out, we had just some display boards, and I think he actually has a video up on how he made the display boards. And so you could pick your monogram, you could pick your design, you could pick your color. But then when we started to move into photographs, we could have actually gotten away with those display boards and just done photographs, and all we would have had was the router, the laptop, the printer, and the press. So I mean, there's really not a lot of equipment that needs to be lugged around.
Yeah. David, is that a special software for the kiosk?
Okay, so we charge a nominal fee of $200 to install the kiosk, and what we do is we install a web server on your laptop, and that's how the photo is uploaded. So they connect to your Wi-Fi, which doesn't go to the internet. It only goes to your laptop. They type in the IP address of the laptop, which is very easy, and then they get a little upload menu, and they simply upload it at that point, and you're done. So the equipment requirements is absolute minimal. Just the laptop and a Wi-Fi router, and nothing else. You don't need internet. In fact, having internet, probably is bad. But you could have internet just for your laptop, if you wish, from a hotspot. But the kiosk is just so darn simple, and that's what makes it powerful. And so if a person walks up and they got money, and they're going like, I just want a photograph on this, and they're clueless about how to use their phone, just say, may I have your phone, please? Is this the photo you want? Push the button. You instantly have it. Open it in whatever size and print it. And so, it's an incredibly simple approach to getting money out of their pocket.
It's cool. Very cool. I didn't realize that you guys, so some proprietary software that you guys have. Is that right?
I would say there isn't anything proprietary about it. We just took all the puzzle pieces and put it together.
Okay.
So we took a public domain, web server and built an index page that has a uploader.
Okay.
You can customize it with your company name and all that. So to say it's proprietary, it is not. It's just that there was a need, and we addressed the need by writing a little code that is part of this little web server. So
Got it.
again, like most things in life, there isn't a whole lot of proprietary of anything. We just addressed the need that people kept calling us and saying, this guy texted me this picture, it didn't print well, Well, it's because it doesn't have the right resolution. Or they emailed me and it didn't turn out good. What do I do? What do I tell them? How do I resolve this issue? And so for a storefront or for an event, the Condi Kiosk is a simple way to get the photo from their phone to your laptop, minimal hassle.
Got it. Cool. Very cool. So I
So
think
while we were talking, she pressed the glass.
And I messed
Yep.
it up. Oh, I did. I messed it up. Okay. So
Because you mirrored it?
No, I didn't mirror it, which I did. I did that part correctly. So I'm over here thinking, oh, I know how to do this. No big deal. We'll do it for a minute, 15 seconds.
No, that's not enough.
No, that's not enough. That's not
Yeah.
enough at all. So, and because of the way that the design is, when I did my little trick where I kind of lift it up, it looks like it's sublimated fully, but it didn't sublimate fully. And it only looks like that because of the color on the bottom part of the design. So I'm going to show you guys. So this is what it's going to look like if you don't sublimate it all the way. And you can see it's kind of faded. The colors just aren't as bright. They're not as rich.
Right. Right.
Yeah. And then also I did this kind of in a light blue, and I should have darkened the blue up a little bit, but it would look better if it was done
Fully
well.
sublimated. Yeah.
There we go.
So
Yeah.
wall of shame
Wall of
kind of
shame
thing.
piece. I'll do it.
And I have been working Sprite overtime. We just have so many new products that we're finishing up in preparation really for launches in time for Christmas. And so we're definitely burning the midnight candle here. But glass is easy to do, just got to press it long enough. And that's the magic of sublimation. You got to give it enough dwell time for the ink to do its thing.
Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty good on the back. But it just didn't transfer all the way.
Right.
Yeah.
Got that little bit of.
So, when we talk about pressing, time, temperature, pressure, techniques, what's on top, what's on bottom.
I didn't even have the mic on.
Okay.
So they probably can't hear me.
Go ahead, let's turn it on.
Yeah, they could hear.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Okay, so the kiosk. So Janice says the kiosk sounds like a great idea for me since I'm retired. We do travel sometimes with our 32-foot toy hauler camping. This way I could take my business on the road with me. That'd be a great idea for sure. Absolutely.
I think that means a tax deduction. If you aren't real serious about it, you can still claim
Okay,
that you're
there's something wrong with the sound.
All right,
Something
hold on.
happened. Yeah.
Is that better?
Yeah, better.
It was
Okay.
me. All right.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Let me go back to launching products.
Okay.
Good to see you, Cheryl. And
Yeah, good to see you.
do that
Yeah.
before. I'm working on it. All right.
What's that?
Thank you, Sprite.
Oh, thank you, Sprite. Thanks for that. She's getting me some paperwork that I asked for the summit. Okay, so let's talk about, I love taking products and seeing what I can do with them and what I can't do with them. And, it's all about testing. And one of the guys in the group created a post about the Walmart glitter I guess, water bottles that people are sublimating, and he said, you know, you really need to know what materials are made of because it can be toxic. You know, so anyway, just for the record, I don't fool with those kind of products because I am, I don't want to be inhaling toxic gases and stuff. So, but when it comes to other products, I definitely will test. And so I started playing with the Shrinkwrap from Condi, and I'm even though this might look like a fail, for me it's a process. It's because some of it came out beautiful, so that tells me I'm onto something. I just need to figure out better how to do it. So this is what I did. What I was trying to accomplish was, could I tell people, listen, you could, because a lot of people, the expense of getting a good heat press is a lot of money. And so I thought, well, if we could tell them, listen, you can get a convection oven, you can get the shrink wrap, and you're in business. I mean, literally, you're in business. And technically you are anyway, because if you get that, if you have the printer and you have a convection oven, for sure you can do mugs. But the truth is you can do other things too. We just got to come up with what those things are that you can do. Like, any type of the wine tumblers, you could do those. You can do, I did not perfect the mug in it. So that's my next one I'll show you. And I'll show you what I was doing. So somebody had said that Sprite was using a long bull nose. So I sent off for that.
Next question on okay. the hardboard letter.
Yeah.
Did you put anything underneath it when you used the Sublishrink?
Did I put anything underneath it? Meaning what? Like another piece of board or something like that?
Yeah, like a piece of metal, piece of glass, something underneath it.
I did not. I did.
I bet if you did that, it might work.
Well, I'm gonna try it, David. I'm gonna try it. I mean, I feel like I'm on. If you look at this came out really nice. If you look at that part of it right there, that's beautiful. I mean, that really came out nice. So that tells me it's possible. It's definitely possible. So, but what was interesting is that I took a puck, a plate puck, and I put it in the middle, and that is where, and I had heated up the puck, and that's where I get all the, like it didn't transfer, So it's interesting.
Was the puck on top or underneath?
It was on top.
Yeah. It would act as an insulator.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because the puck is starting to radiate heat. It's radiating heat, and it's sort of protecting that area from direct heat. You'd have to heat it for God awful long time.
Well, okay, but I had it face down, so I had it face down, and I had the puck on this side.
Yeah, I think just putting like it could be a piece of glass. Like I would go grab a glass cutting board. I'd put the thing on top, shrink wrap the whole thing, and I bet that would
see
work.
What happens. Okay, well, I'm going to try it. We'll try it. So then I did.
Like for instance, when Christmas gets cranked up around here, we sit back and we know what calls are going to come in. And one of the most challenging calls is people have bought a gazillion porcelain Christmas ornaments, and they never ever practiced. They don't know how to do them, and they struggle while they learn. And I was thinking, I wonder, because they're generally double-sided, I wonder how well they would do in the oven.
Well, I did 100 of them on the heat press. That was, there were probably 3 that ended up getting messed up, and I think it was really the coating and not necessarily because the rest of them were coming out great. And it was like as if the transfer just was not transferring. So it almost looked like it was the coating, which can happen. Yeah, which can happen.
Absolutely.
So, okay, I just want to make sure that we're not missing anything here. Okay, they were just talking about, okay, here's a question. I had to shut down both my sublimation printers due to an approaching hurricane. Is that a problem for her printers?
No.
Yeah.
In fact, that is the preferred way. What we would like not to happen is to lose power while the printers are turned on. And so, occasionally, rarely, but mainly rarely, when the printer starts back up again, it believes it's lost its prime, and it's going to run the pump for a certain amount of time, and you're going to freak out. But while it's running, do not bother the printer. Don't go unplug it. Don't do anything to it. Don't touch it. Just let it finish its repriming. If you bother it, you're going to just make the problem far worse. So it is greatly preferred that you buy like a little UPS, like an APC brand is my favorite. They have them on eBay and Amazon, maybe $59. Probably give you a good solid 20 minutes of power for a printer. You need to connect it to the UPS side of the unit. There's a surge and a UPS. But at any rate, if you're just sitting there, you got an approaching storm, then just turn the printer off. And if you believe it's severe, unplug the printer so that in the event of something happening with the electricity, you're going to be safe.
Okay, so Janice says, I like the tax deductions. Thanks, David. Haha, great idea. Okay, so another thing that I tried with the wrap was a plate. So let's see if you guys can see this. So it didn't completely transfer too well around the sides, but the middle part of it actually did quite well. So again,
how did you get the film to push down?
Okay, so I took the puck, and I'll show you. Oh, see, David's writing all these down.
And the reason I write things down is
so you don't forget.
Well, my number one tip is document everything.
Yeah.
And you want to document your failures, document your successes, document ideas. And I always learn so much from our clients. Like today, for instance, the phone has been ringing off the hook saying our Apple Watch bands will work on the Samsung Galaxy watches. And we thought they would because we borrowed one. But, you learn so much if you only listen to people.
It's true. It's so true. Okay, so Evelyn says we have had up to 5 days without power. Good to know, David. Okay, what is the puck you are speaking of? Okay, so I'm gonna share that with you. Okay, it's still actually a little warm, but not horrible. Okay, so what I did was actually this is the wrong size. So I took the bigger size. I placed it in here. Well, first off, I took the transfer. Next time I would make the transfer a little bit smaller than what I did. But, I was crazy busy with doing what I do. So let me just show you what I did, because this is promising. You know, this, and again, this is the stuff that you could do without a heat press, and that's why I want to try it. For those who want to get into sublimation, don't have $1,500 for a heat press. Anyway, so I took this size, which is the larger size. I put it inside. I taped both ends like so. And then I took this puck. I heated it up. Now, I'm not sure that I really needed to do it, but I did it. Because that's how you would normally do a plate. And so I heated it up in the convection oven for 10 minutes. I then, after, of course, taping down, and actually I think I used a spray on the image, I then placed this in the middle, like so, after taping this down, and then I started to use, the little heat. What do you call that, David? Mine's a little zap. Gun. Yeah, the heat gun. Mine's zap. And so then it started shrinking it, and because of the puck, it was able to stay in place, and it just made a really nice seal on it. I left the puck on it, and I sublimated it, and it came out the way you see it.
Cool.
Yeah. So I mean, that to me is really promising. That is really really promising.
Yeah. We I wonder if what the results would have been if you had put the puck on the inside. How that would have worked.
Well, I'll try it and we'll find out. I mean, we can do one right now.
So we've been, and you should.
While we're doing this live, why not?
Let me throw this tip in for everybody. So when you're learning to sublimate to a particular substrate, let's say it's new to you, or you're changing something or whatever, many people will go through lots and lots of the products and waste a lot. But in this case, what I suggest Cheryl do is print you a black transfer and sublimate on top of the one you've already done. Just sublimate right on top. And that way you're not ruining two plates. Plates are relatively expensive, and why waste them? But you could also just simply put a stripe of black on the plate, and that gives you an idea of how things are going. And so that's really the way to perfect. For instance, I would say typically everybody has trouble at first with slate. And the best way to do slate is by perfecting your technique without wasting a lot of slate, by doing like a black stripe, looking at the results, doing another black stripe, that kind of stuff. But I wonder how well we are almost finished with how we're going to suggest you do our plastic plates.
So let me ask you this: how long do we have on this show today? Because it's already like 4:39. Can we go to like 5:30 my time? Okay.
Yeah.
Then we can do some cool things. I mean, then the other thing I'm going to try, I'll do another letter. I love testing things. But let me just show you, I just want to show everyone. So I did this yesterday. I was playing in Creative Studio. I wanted to see from a person who was brand new. I've never played with Creative Studio. And I said, I need to just test this. So I got on, and within, I'm going to say probably a half hour. I mean, not even that really. It was about 15 minutes. I was able to create something, but then trying to, delete something and do all kinds of other little things. I was like, okay, where's the delete? You can't just delete. But this is what I did out of Creative Studio. I think it came out absolutely adorable. I really do. Just really cute. So
Great.
I
Let me
just
throw this, yeah. Let me throw this about Creative Studio. So there's a lot of folks out there that are using Creative Studio. Based on my informal poll with clients, I'd say we're definitely in the 20% range
okay.
that are out there. And for whatever reason, and I don't fully understand it, Sawgrass has done a great job of maturing the program, but for whatever reason, they have not done as well with adding our templates. And so clients will, get a new product, for instance, the watch bands or something, and
I'll be right back. I'm going to go get the stuff. So
they'll
you keep
freak
talking.
out over, where's the template in Creative Studio? So everybody that uses Creative Studio, this is just super, super important, needs to understand that they can take our templates and use them in Creative Studio. And what you would do is you'd use the PNG version of the template. So assuming our template has a PNG, use that in Creative Studio. So you'll go in and you'll do a new product and just do something, sort of pick a product that's the size of your paper, like a big plaque or big piece of metal or something, and then open our PNG version of the template into into Creative Studio, and you're all set.
Okay. All right, David, you can keep talking because okay, it says I'm connected.
So I can talk. People have told me that I can talk. So
well, let's see if we have any questions here. Creative Studio was great to get started in sublimation because I only use Design Space and it is much the same. Exactly, Jennifer. I agree.
What did you say she uses?
She was using Design Space, which is Cricut.
Oh, okay.
That is exactly what I do. And thankfully, when signed in, we have access to all the templates. I personally, I felt really good about being able to get in there and do it literally within minutes. I was creating something and bringing in a template and, like I said, with the bib, it just was really super cute and, we could get it done. So
let me throw in one more thing about our templates now that I'm on a little roll here. So we have expanded the way we do templates at Condi. So if you place your order online, your order acknowledgement, so to speak, your history will be part of your shopping cart. You can see your history there. If you open one of those orders, to the far right of that line will be the link to download the template for that product. So you can instantly download the template for that product even before your order is processed. So just as soon as you place your order, the template is available for download. And so if you have complete PartnerNet access, that's giving you access to a bunch of resources and even more in the future, as a matter of fact. But to get the templates for the products you purchased, you've got it right there in your order history. If you place your orders over the phone, you will need to get PartnerNet access in order to just simply download and use all the resources. But for folks that place their order online, you can instantly download the templates. There's no wait.
Okay. We're going to see what this does, this piece of metal here. This should work. hopefully,
Well,
David.
let's talk about that metal just for a second. So it is
Okay.
possible that it's going to cut into the shrink wrap. So I guess we're about to see.
Right.
That's why, and so again, until we do it, we won't know.
Yeah, well, to me, that's what this is all about. If you don't experiment, you don't know, right? Okay,
Amen,
so
sister. Amen.
okay, so I wanted to show. So I had promised everybody when I did my show yesterday that I would press one of these because you get lines, and I want to show you how I get rid of my lines. So I got this actually at Dollar Tree a couple of years ago. So, they're just cute little thin aprons. Okay. So, and, because people have said, but it's not a t-shirt. It's not vapor. So, of course, I had to get a vapor t-shirt and do it. And again, no lines. So David, when I show you how I get rid of the lines, are you going to be impressed? That's all I want to know.
Well, I'm already impressed because, like David Copperfield and Penn and Teller, I think you've already shared this secret with me.
Okay, but have you tried it and did it work?
I did try it some time ago and it appeared to work. But I won't spoil your magic trick, if you will. So go right ahead. But it's like on the Penn and Teller show, fool me. I think I know. I think I know this trick. But
Well,
hey,
it's right because I did show it. And I did say, but I got to tell you, the thing is, it works and it works beautifully, and you don't have to ruin shirts. You don't have to ruin things because it works. So, I'll press both of those. But I would like to get this started first because it will take a few minutes. And I'm excited about this plate, David. How promising is that? That's pretty awesome.
so I'm not ready to reveal my magic trick on the plates. But I think I've got one up my sleeve.
Okay. Based on what I did?
Well, what we're doing with our plastic plates. So,
Okay.
we intend really to aggressively promote the plastic plates for a bunch of reasons. One is you can't break them. Number two is the plastic is inherently more safe from a regulatory point of view. Plates are somewhat complicated with the coating and all that, where plastic plates, you don't coat them. They're just made of sublimatable plastic.
So it's not melamine, right?
No. So melamine is a very bad thing. It's bad. And it's in the category with Teflon, which is bad. And so we only use Teflon for a couple of things around here. But melamine, as far as I know, is outlawed in many countries. It is not outlawed in the U.S. It has phenolic resins in it, and that's bad. So, for instance, you can't put, or you shouldn't put melamine plates in your microwave. What I want to do in the sublimation world is have a very healthy alternative to your typical melamine quote quote plastic plate, and it'll look better. They're more wider. They're very reasonably cost, and I hope through the techniques that we're developing to have an easy technique that everyone can do out there with their convection ovens.
This is exciting, I have to tell you. Well, keep talking because I'm looking for something that I can use.
So
to
is this
supplement.
what, like the Wizard of Oz in when they say don't ignore the person behind the curtain here? Is that where
Yes,
you've lost
yes,
there?
exactly. I'm excited because there are so many cool things that we're going to be able to do. Okay, let's see if I can, you know. And so, David, here's another thing that I do that, people say, well, let me just ask you. Let me ask you. How long can you print one, a transfer and keep it? How long?
So the technical answers, I'll give you the quick technical answer. So it's a point of diminishing yield from the ink, and so there's not going to be, it's not like you know how things say there's an expiration date on a drug or something.
Right.
When the expiration date reaches, doesn't mean it just poof, it's gone. It's no longer works at all. It is a diminishing situation. And so what we would say is that we would like you to use the transfer in a week or so. But all of us that have done sublimation for all these years, we've used transfers that are months old, and they still work. But what does happen ultimately is moisture can get into the paper, and it can degrade the ability of the ink to release. But bottom line is, I don't care how long you wait before you press it, but I would try to strategize and try not to print transfers that you're not going to press within a reasonable time of a few days or a week. And it's sort of common sense, like, why are you printing it if you're not going to press it? So, I would tell you that certainly within a reasonable time, but you can collect dust on it, debris can be on it, and moisture can get in the transfer. So I would tell you that if you've got a printed transfer that's old, so to speak, I would put it underneath the heat press without closing it for 10 seconds to make sure that it's dry. And I would tell you to do that even if you printed it a few moments ago. So drying the transfer, for whatever reason, has become increasingly more important. And so we're revising all our instructions to recommend that you dry the transfer. Um, and everybody needs to take this to heart because it's a problem. So if you're throwing down a substantial amount of black ink on your transfer, I guarantee you that if you print that and come back 5 minutes later, it is likely that some of the ink underneath the surface level is still wet. It's sort of like, paint drying, You think it's dry, but you put your finger in it and your fingernail, and you realize it's not completely dry underneath. So black just simply dries. To me, it's drying slower than it used to. And so is it the paper's fault that it's drying slow? Has something changed about the ink that it's drying slower? I'm not sure, but I can tell you that it just everything is telling me that the black is no longer drying as fast as it used to.
Well, okay, so I am one of those bad people because I've had transfers for years. Maybe I printed it and I mirrored it and it wasn't supposed to be mirrored, or it wasn't, the template wasn't correct. I don't throw them away. I keep them and I use them when I test because I do a lot of testing. I love to test. It's probably my favorite thing to do. And so, I keep them for a very long time. and I'm super excited to test these products right now. And I love doing it live, by the way. I think that's
Yeah.
fun too.
There was one paper manufacturer that used to say that they firmly believed that their paper with sublimation ink would hold up for months, no problem. And that company, interestingly enough, has worked its way back into the Conde family. It's a company in the Netherlands called Jet Cold, called Coldenhoff, and their product is Jet Cold BHN or something like that. And it's hard to believe, but from a history point of view, these folks are the folks that invented sublimation paper. They invented it.
Okay,
The
so
mill,
let's talk about this really quick because I'm gonna. So, do you think I should heat up my puck like I did before, or I'm just going to put this transfer on there and see what happens? It's got some black on it.
you should heat up the puck.
Okay,
Uh,
so that's what
you,
I did before.
and you should have you a pair of pliers that allows you to,
Yeah, I do. I actually use these right here. They're strong.
whatever floats your boat. That's fine.
Okay.
But I would tell you,
So
get you a pair of pliers because it makes me a little nervous with your hand being so close to a very, very hot thing.
yes, it's true. It's absolutely true. Yeah. Okay. So it's exciting, though. I must tell you, I love.
So, why would we
testing.
heat the puck? And it's because, you when you do sublimation, to do it well, you always want the starting conditions for each product you're pressing, you're sublimating to be the same. And so, you really want it to be the same. A good example would be the Chinese sell these mug presses, and they have what's called an idle temperature, many of them. And that idle temperature means that it's going to start there whenever you put a mug in if it's cooled down to that temperature. But when you put the second mug in right away, you're actually starting at a different temperature. That dog doesn't hunt. So if you have one of those presses, then you want to run the idle temperature all the way up to the press temperature so that they're the same, so that your initial conditions when starting your press are always the same, always.
Okay. So we're gonna try. We're gonna try the letter, and I pressed my letter. I cooked my letter for 3 minutes. So we're gonna try 4 minutes. But let's see. Okay, so somebody asked me where I got the puck. I got the puck from Conde, of course. I got the plate puck. I got the plates from Conde.
Yeah, the puck is made for us by, I can't remember if we buy it from George Knight. I can't remember where we buy it from. But again, people, I would tell you that maybe sit tight just a little bit longer as we finish our plastic plate project, because that is going to be very exciting. But if you just have a love for porcelain plates, what was that company that used to, on the Parade magazine that came with your Sunday paper, they always sold those plates? Bradford Exchange, I think that was the name of it. And so if you just love those, historic homes, for instance.
Okay,
it's
not working that way. I have to do it a different way. So let's see. It's not liking, it's bowing the metal. So let's
That's
do
why
another one.
a piece of glass. Do you have a glass cutting board?
I do. Let me go get it.
So
Actually,
going back to the
I'm
porcelain
leaving my
plate,
earpieces here because
many years ago, I had some friends, and they were doing historic home tours, and these people are very serious about their homes and the history of their home. and they wanted a plate for each home to sell. And so I helped them do plates. Um, they're great, but in the grand scheme of things, doing a porcelain or ceramic plate is a pain, and it's not something that you want to do on a casual basis. So if you want to do that, then we can help you do it. But once in a while, you do it well, and we've got great videos. We can help you. But I would tell you that the bigger picture of things is when the plates hit, the plastic plates hit, they're going to go absolutely crazy. I mean, everybody, every mom, dad, grandmother, whatever, is going to buy a plate of the little kitties,
Okay, so they're
drawing.
yes, so they're asking if it's safe.
So it is safe. So the plates that we sell, they're I think they're actually porcelain plates.
Okay, they're safe to eat on. They're safe to eat on.
Porcelain is a denser form of ceramic, and then it's coated. So the answer is it is safe, but the question is, should you? These are decorative commemorative plates that are expensive. You would these are for display purposes. Yes, you can eat off of it, but I think you're a little crazy to eat off it. It's not. It's like your fine china. You're probably not using it as your everyday dinnerware. So it really is designed for display and commemorative purposes. But is it safe? It is. What does safe mean, by the way? Generally, in FDA terms, safe means that it's free of lead and cadmium. Those are the two, we'll call it regulated chemicals that are normally associated with things like this. And then you get into other regulatory agencies like California's Prop 65, and you throw in a bunch of chemicals. But in the coatings world, what the FDA is looking at is that mugs, for instance, plates are free of lead and cadmium, and they are. But that doesn't mean they're free from everybody. All I can speak at this point in time is for us. That's one of those kinds of things that if you buy your product, you really want to buy it from someone that is doing their best to pay attention to the health regulations.
Okay, on to my next one. Okay, so just so you know, let me just talk people through what I'm doing. This is, again, I think this could be a game changer for some people if this is actually going to work for you and you're able to take a cutting board and a piece of hardboard, and now you can sublimate on it in your convection oven with the shrink wrap. I think that could be a game changer.
By the way, speaking of doing unconventional things, I saw our friend Joe with Caesar, and I can't remember if it was him or not, but he was using his hand iron, and I'm going, don't want to go there.
It actually works. It works.
I know, but the challenge is, if you've got to resort to a hand iron, which I understand some people do, what other challenges are you dealing with? And
right.
So just one of those kind of things, because we want everybody, if they buy a product, we want them to be successful with it.
Absolutely. What, again, when you're talking about, when I'm talking about the summit, that it's the whole premise of the summit is to help you guys succeed in this amazing industry that we love.
So
Okay,
you-
so
I
I
wanna
think
see. Show me.
I think I got it sealed up pretty nicely. I'm not going to do the back because the last one I did, it started making holes in it. This is snug enough, I think. And so I'm
Did
going
you
to,
put the transfer on there?
absolutely.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so now I'm going to put it in the oven. And let's see. And I've warmed up my puck, and so I'm going to be taking my puck out, and
what
I
we
do
can
have
do
these
is-
heavy.
We can start changing the name of this to Cooking with Cheryl.
Right, exactly. Well, we got to do our David and Cheryl YouTube channel, and they
You do?
came up with some amazing names, and we do
Right.
got to go through that again.
So,
But anyway,
do we call you the Martha Stewart of sublimation?
Yes, that would be a good one. That's pretty funny. Okay, so now we are putting in we're gonna put that in right now, the letter, and now I've got the puck. I've warmed up the puck, and I'm putting the puck on top of this, and now we're going to, I think what I'm gonna do, I'm concerned it's gonna melt that, David.
Melt what?
The puck is going to melt, but I'm going to find out right now.
I think it'll be
Let's see.
okay.
It's already melting it pretty quickly.